We are Mike and Jeannie, and we restore old houses. In 2021, we moved to South Carolina and bought a 120-year-old Victorian house. Follow along as we put the polish back on this Victorian masterpiece.
Welcome back to 1834 Restoration House.
We are back in the wood shop today. We're going to finish putting this easel together today and then move on to other projects.
Today's program is sponsored by the generous support of our patrons. Your support helps to further our historic preservation efforts. For more information, visit patreon.com/1834 Restoration House.
In our last episode, we put this together and clamped it. So now let's see how it turned out. So we'll let those come down like that, and then I'll pick it up like this. And now the back legs come down like that. Kind of looks like one of those dancing stick figures, doesn't it? But once you get everything kind of out and in position, then it should hold itself together really well. After looking at this, we realized we need to make a few changes. So what we're going to do is take this top piece here and we're going to unhinge the front side and then glue it to make that more sturdy. We also are planning on putting some side braces here to hold these pieces together. And the shelf originally was supposed to be hinged. We're not going to hinge that. We're just going to glue it on and make it solid. We're thinking that these changes will hopefully make it more stable. All right, first I'm going to measure the distance between here and here. We have exactly 16 inches. So I want to take two of these sticks right here, cut them down to 16. We'll put one of them here, and we'll put one of them down here. Now I'll go ahead and do the other one up here. Okay, that's great. So we'll let that sit for 30 minutes and let the glue set. And as long as we don't put stress on it for the next 24 hours, we should be able to take the clamps off. All right, it's been 1 hour, so I'm gonna go ahead and take these clamps off. It feels a lot better than it did. The next thing I'm going to do is take the hinges off of here and then glue this onto the easel surface and then clamp that up. All right, it's been 30 minutes at least, maybe more like an hour. So I'm going to go ahead and take these clamps off of here. And let's put the leg structure back together. Jeannie picked out this really nice cabinet handle, and I'm going to mount that right here so we can pick it up and carry it. So first thing I'm going to do is drill a couple of holes that I've already laid out. We added a pair of simple chain hooks just to keep this from falling. Okay, here we go. Well, it was good in theory. In order to keep the easels from snapping apart like that, I went ahead and put a simple chain and hook type of situation over there. And I'm doing the same thing over here on this side. And I've measured these to be the same as those. And I have another length of chain which is identical to the other one. So let's just go ahead and turn these in. Now, I'm going to pull this open with a pair of pliers. Hook it on, and then squeeze it back together. On this side, I'll open it up and leave it open because this side is made to be able to release. Because we need to be able to unfold it quite a ways in order to swing this back up and tuck everything away. There we go. So now it's all the way open and it's not going to fall. Okay, we are just about done with this thing. This is the ledge and I just trimmed it to fit perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue here, here, and then some glue under here, and then we'll put it up in place. We'll clamp it with 2 clamps this way, 1 clamp this way, and then let it cure. Same thing over here. And now crank down the side.
As long as I can get there.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay.
You like it?
I'm seeing a little bit of gap. Can we move Could we move these two inboard just a little bit? One at a time.
Yeah, we can try.
I've got the bottom.
I gotta let go of it.
Okay.
I gotta put it through your other stuff. There we go. Do you have it?
I've got it. Go ahead.
How's that? Does that look better?
It does look better. It's more even. I was seeing a little bit of a gap kind of showing up in the middle. And so this puts more pressure out in the middle there and pushes it up tight. So I think this is good.
Yep.
Given the importance of this part, I think we'll let this one sit overnight. And I think we've done as much as we can do on this one here. So let's go find something else to do. Hey everybody, welcome to the top of the stairway. This is the upstairs landing right here. We have bedrooms all around us. Now, when they built the stairs, in fact, when they built the house, there's one thing that they forgot to do, and I don't know why, but when they came up here and it stopped right here, there is no way to get to the attic by stairway. Now, every house of this vintage, even houses that are, shall we say, less well endowed than this one here, often have attic stairs. So why they didn't do it here, we'll never understand. What I'm going to do right now is take you along, and I want to show you if it's possible to build a set of stairs. Can it be done? Now there's two possibilities that come to mind. The first one is here, top of the stairs, continue on right here and go on up the rest of the way. That's a possibility. There's no possibility of doing it over here because there's a window there and there just isn't enough room to run a staircase. So now let's come over and take a look at the other side. Now here's another possibility. You could come up to the top of the stairs, come over here, and then go up this way. Now this wall here has a much longer run than the one I just showed you. So that seems like a really great candidate on paper. Or is it? We need to investigate and find out what's up above both of these. Unfortunately, the only way to get to the attic is to climb a tall ladder and then go through this small hatchway right here. There's all kinds of dust and debris that always falls out of here. So hopefully there's no squirrels or raccoons. I'm kidding. We actually got rid of the raccoons. They're all gone now. Okay, so I'm looking up here. The first wall that has the short run looks like it has a clear space above it. That's really great. The wall that has the long run does not have a clear space. There's actually a bit of roof that goes like this. So what would happen is you're coming up the stairs like this and you come up to the top and all of a sudden there's limited headroom there. So that would never fly, and the building department would never allow that. The other one though, I think we could probably do. There's plenty of headroom up there. We'd have to rearrange some bracing. We're going to bring you up here so you can see it. All right, we're kind of in a low light situation here and the camera doesn't really like low light, so I apologize if you see a lot of electronic noise there. But you can see right here, that's the roof line right there, and the stairs would be coming up right there. That won't work. But if we go across the hall over there, see there's plenty of headroom right above there. So I think if we move a couple of braces around, we might possibly be able to fit a staircase in. Before we can go any further with this, we need to know how many inches it is from that floor down below me to the top of whatever floor would be up above here. So we have a 3/4 inch flooring down there. So that means we have to add 3/4 of an inch because you can't build a stairway on top of finished flooring. You have to actually remove that and put your stairs down onto the subfloor. So that adds 3/4 of an inch of height. And then assuming that there's some kind of floor up here which hasn't yet been added, we're going to say 3/4 of an inch there. So we add 1.5 inches to the total. Now let's see what we have. It looks like we have 126 inches and, well, 126 3/4 of an inch. Those of you who've been with us for a long time know that I'm in college and I'm taking algebra right now. So we're going to work some quadratic equations. No, I'm kidding. We're not going to do quadratic equations. Let's get down to basics here. So These are the rules of staircases. So in order to have a comfortable rise, you need to be somewhere between 7 and 8 inches high. Okay, so we know that we have 128.5 inches total from the floor to the top, adjusted for the finished floors. So 128.5. So what I'm going to do is divide that by how many stair treads I think we might need. So I'm just going to take a stab in the dark and say 20. So let's say 128.5 divided by 20 gives us 6.425. All right, well, that's too many stairs. All right, so we need to decrease the number of stairs to make them taller. So let's try that again. 128.5 divided by, let's take it to 19. 6.7, still too many. 128.5 divided by 18. Okay, that makes 7.13. Now that's in the range. We're above 7, but below 8. So I'm going to say anywhere between 18 to some unknown number. Okay, 16 puts us right at 8 with just like a fraction of an inch above that. So we'll say somewhere between the 16 and the 18 steps. Now, every single step has rise. We know that. But every single step also has run. And it has to have enough run that you can comfortably put your foot on there and still have a decent stride as you go up. You don't want them to be too shallow because your foot won't land on there very well. You don't want them to be too deep or else your stride will have to be very long. And they found that there's a certain sweet spot there where you can comfortably climb the stairs without too much risk of an accident. We measured our existing stairs to see what we're dealing with. We have a 7¼ inch rise currently, and we have an 11-inch tread depth, and that includes the nose. And that's right about where it should be. So 11 is good. That's a really good length to have. So let's see what happens here. If we have 16 steps, we multiply that by the number of treads. That's 11, so 11 treads. So we'll say 16 times 11. That would be the smallest, most compact staircase that we could legally build. We're looking at 176 inches from here to here. All right, we're back at the wall. Now, I'm going to start right here at the beginning of this baseboard, and I'm going to head that way laterally. Now, even though I've got a doorway over there, that's not necessarily a deal breaker because probably by the time we get up that high, it may pass right over the door frame. So let's see what we have here first from door to door. From door frame to door frame, we are at
Front or back of the door frame?
the inside to inside.
Inside?
Yeah, so we got 117.5 inches. All right, let's compare that against our chart and see where we are. Okay, at 117.5 inches is nowhere near enough staircase to get us up to the top. I think what we should do is get some painter's tape and start marking the wall. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Okay, by the way, since you're here, you want to tell everybody why we're thinking about putting a staircase up there?
Heating and air conditioning. It would sure be nice to use the rest of this house.
Yeah, you can't sleep up here in the winter, it's too cold. You can't sleep up here in the summer, it's too hot. So the fall and the spring is about the only time you could even use these rooms ever. So that's a big part of it. The other thing too is there's a lot of space up there which we could be using for storage. And we could get some of this stuff out of the bedrooms and closets and put it up there where it really should be.
Yeah, I have already moved my sewing stuff all downstairs again because it's just too hot up here to do much of anything.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep. I have no idea how hot it is up here right now, but we're just dying.
It gets really hot up here.
We're taking one for you guys. Okay, so I've got my tape here. From the floor, I have about just a hair over 7 inches right there. So this is approximately the height of the first tread. Let's measure out 11 inches. I'll make a mark here. So that's where our first riser is. And then we'll rise up another 7 inches. So I need another piece of tape on there. I don't want to mark the wall with a pen. So let's just do this. Put the tape behind the tape. Okay, there's 7 1/4. And let me just make a cross mark here so we can get our 11. Actually, 11 is here. I was a little bit off. Okay, so now we've got a cross mark there, which indicates where the corner of the stair will be. And we'll just continue this up until we get to the top, and let's see what we end up with. This isn't very scientific the way we're doing it, but it's just kind of a guesstimate. So what I did is I laid a couple of data points here on the wall. This represents the top corner of a stair. So it would come down like this, come over, come down like this, come over, come down like this, come over, and so forth. So what I'm going to do is take this board and lay it across the data points like this, and then see where the board points. In order to do that, I've got to get down here. So let's see what we've got here. So that would be about here. Assuming all these are correct. What I'm seeing here is that board still points right at the door frame. So at this point in time, it's not really clear if we have enough clearance. Okay, it sounds like a line from a movie. Do you have clearance, Clarence? Anyway, that's what it is. So we'll have to investigate that a little bit further, and we'll certainly get back to you on what we find.
Whew.
Hot.
Very.
Summer is here, and even more so on the second floor of the old Victorian house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching 1834 Restoration House. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next week.